Behold, ladies and gentlemen, this is the pinnacle of the American modern luxury vehicle. This is the new 2021 Cadillac Escalade. And gone are things like garish styling and weird oversized features and acres of terrible chrome. Gone are the interior plastics that are terrible. Gone are the cramped rear seats. And instead we have things like poise and refinement and actual style. There's power and technology and equipment in this new Escalade that we've never seen in a Cadillac or in an Escalade before. But have all of these changes really only gone skin deep for this new Escalade? Or has Cadillac really created something special with the new 21 model? Let's have a look. The new 21 Escalade is the last of the General Motors big three SUVs to get a redesign, joining the 21 Tahoe and GMC Yukon in showrooms, sitting on an all-new platform that's been redesigned to be bigger in almost every dimension, inside and out. The Escalade has received all-new styling to go with that all-new chassis, and it's a refreshingly clean and modern take on what has traditionally been something of a garish hot mess. Yes, there's still plenty of chrome on the new Escalade, especially on this top-of-the-line Platinum trim, but it's been added in tasteful strips and accents, not slathered on in sheets. And if you'd rather not have any chrome, you can opt for the blacked-out Sport trim. The front end swaps the old Escalade's vertical headlight orientation for a more horizontal look, making it seem wider and lower. Out back, the signature super tall slim LED taillights are continued from the old model, stretching from the bumper up to the roof. The overall look is fully in keeping with the latest Cadillac design aesthetic, which has taken most of its inspiration from the 2016 Cadillac Escalade concept car. Hey, it looked good on that concept, and it looks good here too. Inside is where the new Escalade really sets itself apart from the old one, and makes you start to wonder if Cadillac has finally produced a luxury SUV that can be compared with the likes of Mercedes-Benz and Range Rover without a bunch of yeah-buts. The centerpiece of the cabin is the massive new curved OLED touchscreen and gauge display that sits front and center. It's 38 inches of some of the clearest, sharpest digital display I've ever seen. It's not just that the icons are big, but they're easy to read and they pop off the impossibly deep black background even in bright direct sunlight. On your left is a touch panel that controls aspects of the trip computer, heads-up display, and central gauge cluster. The center display is reconfigurable to show traditional gauges, a full-width navigation map, an optional night vision display, or a new augmented reality camera navigation system that overlays virtual signs and prompts over a real view forward. It's all easy to use, high enough not to be distracting, and low enough not to block your view outward. The screen to your right is a full touchscreen that allows a level of control and customization to the Escalade that is new to the brand, and finally delivers on the promise of a unique Cadillac-oriented multimedia system to set it apart from GM's lesser brands. Simply put, the display technology in the Escalade goes a long way to justifying the premium the Escalade commands over a loaded GMC Yukon Denali. It is gorgeous, remarkable, and beautifully executed. The rest of the interior is finally representative of a proper luxury SUV. High-quality leather wraps the seats, the dash, the doors, even that curved digital display. But it's not all touch-sensitive panels in here. Cadillac tried that route already and understands now that luxury also is conveyed through precision mechanical movement of switches and buttons, not just nice to touch but immobile materials. The climate control display panel looks and feels as good as anything you'd find in a Mercedes-Benz, which I personally hold up as the benchmark for a luxury interior these days. The stunning technology extends to the audio system as well, with a standard 19-speaker AKG Studio audio system, or what this model has, the optional 36-speaker AKG Studio Reference Premium audio. Yeah, that's right, 36 speakers. They're everywhere. The roof, the pillars, the doors, the cargo area, even in the headrests, just inches from your ears. It sounds amazing. It's easily a rival for the equally stellar top Revell system that you'd find in the latest Lincoln Navigator. And it sounds amazing from every seat in the Escalade, up front, in the middle, or even in the surprisingly comfortable third row. There's a bunch of other impressive technology too, like an electronic conversation aid that broadcasts people's voices using microphones and the Escalade speakers, or illuminated USB ports at every seat. Eventually, Cadillac's Super Cruise semi-autonomous driving system will return to the showroom here in the Escalade, but it wasn't quite ready yet at the time of our test, and this vehicle didn't have it. And it's not just the technology that's impressive. The extra 10 inches of legroom for the third row and sliding second row seats mean that there isn't an uncomfortable seat anywhere in the truck. Between the massive influx of flagship technology and the vastly improved interior packaging and comfort, Cadillac's starting to back up the Escalade's lofty price with some true justifications. The driving experience only reinforces that idea. To start, all Escalades will be powered by a standard 420 horsepower 6.2-liter V8 that's the top engine in the Chevy Tahoe and GMC Yukon. A 3-liter turbo diesel 6-cylinder is a no-cost option for the Escalade. Rear-wheel drive is standard and all-wheel drive is optional. The big V8 comes mated to a 10-speed automatic transmission, and it is silky smooth in its always-ready power delivery. The transmission is perfectly tuned to this engine, never hunting for a gear, always ready to launch the Escalade without drama or fuss. It's kind of a shame that there's no more power here than you'll find in the Chevy, but honestly, the changes to the Escalade have largely made what's under the hood, well, sort of unimportant. The idea here seems to be that the engine shouldn't matter much if you can't hear or see it, and as long as there are no complaints about its performance, why give it more power just to give it more power? Cadillac is counting on buyers not really giving the engine much attention. Between the noise cancellation efforts, the astonishingly quiet cabin's lack of wind or road noise, and the whisper-quiet exhaust when cruising along at highway speeds, the engine isn't really what you focus on when driving the Escalade. Instead, the new Escalade's luxuriously serene, silent cruising operation makes piloting this massive land yacht an experience in nostalgic American luxury. Driving the Escalade is effortless, relaxing, and coddling in ways that luxury cars haven't felt in years. The ride quality is exceptional thanks to an air suspension and GM's magical magnetic ride control shock absorbers. And while you will feel some of the road surface imperfections transmitted to the cabin, they're by no means going to disturb your zen. The steering is nicely weighted, not floaty, and the body control is flat in corners as well. You're not going to attack a twisty stretch of road with gusto in this Escalade. It's much too heavy and isolating for that. But neither are you going to make yourself or your passengers sick when transitioning from your home high in the Hollywood Hills down to lunch with your agent in Malibu. The Escalade feels well controlled and just nimble enough to further feed that sensation of effortless, luxurious serenity that Cadillac engineers have successfully created. None of this newfound serenity and sophistication comes cheap in the Escalade. The entry price for a base model Escalade luxury trim is $77,490, including delivery. But start ticking the options off with a heavy finger, and you'll quickly arrive at this Platinum 4-wheel drive trim's as-tested price of $109,965. And that's not even where it tops out. Choose a long wheelbase Escalade ESV Platinum 4-wheel drive with every possible option, and your new Cadillac can easily top $122,000. I drove the new 2021 GMC Yukon Denali a few weeks ago, and it is such a luxurious SUV and so good at what it does that I said at the time that Cadillac was going to have to come up with something truly impressive in order to justify the commanding price premium that they're charging over the price of a Yukon Denali. And after having driven this new Escalade, I can actually confidently state that they have. The technology, the equipment, the poise, and the refinement of the new Escalade finally justifies the price that Cadillac would like you to pay for one. If you'd like to learn more about the new 2021 Cadillac Escalade, you could look everything up on Cars.com.